Hello, World of Tank Blizzards. It's a Littlefinger. Hey, update 7.9 just came out. April 30th is today's date that I'm doing this review. And I just showed the tutorial, and I'm extremely disappointed. There's so much that was not covered by Wargaming. There's so much to this game, and I wanted to just break down the garage here for new players so that it just does not feel overwhelming. Because I remember when I first came into the game, I'm like, what is all of this stuff? So I'm going to try to break this down in three sections. Today, I'm going to talk about the top section. Part 2 will be the left side, and Part 3 will be the bottom. So starting with your in-game name here and your clan. If you are so new to the game, you haven't even joined a clan yet, you won't have the brackets here. Clicking on this is going to take you to your kind of battle page here. It's going to show you how to change your avatar, how to change your name, uh, how many battles you've played, what your win rate is, your medals, your clan profile. There's tabs at the top here for your statistics. You can see, broken down by tank type. This is something that they didn't even discuss in the tutorial. You've got the diamond as light tanks, the double one stripe here as being mediums, heavies, and then tank destroyers. So those symbols will show up all over the place in this game, and they didn't even mention it. You've got the breakdown by nation and then the breakdown by tier. If you want to look at individual tank stats, you can click on that, and you can see how many battles you've played in it and what your win rate is and all of that stuff and what your medals are. Um, and then if you've got replays turned on, which will be in part 2, you can see where the replays reside there. Um, this timer with the 2x on it is how often the 2x multiplier gets reset. So this is really beneficial for players that are trying to get from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3 and so forth. We call that grinding tanks, because you've got to play a lot of battles once you get to the higher tiers in order to be able to advance. The 2x gives you twice, obviously, the experience points, and we'll get into experience points here a little bit later. So if I were to jump into the defender and win a battle, I would use my 2x, and then I would just be at 1x for every game thereafter until this timer resets. Down below is where they put events that are going on. There's several events: Chinese New Year, the holiday event. There's always an event in October for Halloween. And this is where they put the battle pass. So this shows you what level you are on the battle pass and how much time remains on the battle pass. This is a monthly event. There's been, I think, 4 of them so far, but I believe they're going to be basically every month. And this is one of the ways that Wargaming gets you to come back to the game frequently. And we'll touch on those. And rightly so. They want you to keep playing. They want you to invest in the game, and they want you to spend money on the game. And those of us that do spend money on, we support those that play for free, and that's fine. You get what you want out of this game, absolutely. But anyway, the battle pass works like this. Regardless of if you spend money on the battle pass, you get everything on this top row. You come to the game every day and complete your missions, and it allows you to advance up the rows of the battle pass. Now, for $5, you can get access to everything here on the bottom. So you can see right off the bat, you're going to start off with a tier 4 premium tank, well, collector tank in this instance. There's gold down here, there's silver, and we'll get into all of this and the value in the game. Premium time, boosters, we call these. And there's even a tier 6 tank at level 35. So for $5, you get a lot out of this, but you have to come back every day and complete your missions. Missions reside right here on the left, so we'll talk about those in part 2. Moving to the right here, the next is our boosters. We can turn on boosters before you go into the game. And you're telling what are boosters? All right, so let me just turn off the boosters here. And what you'll see is on the right side, this is how much combat experience you're going to get, free experience you're going to get, and crew experience you're going to get per battle. So basically, it's plus 50%. You get these boosters by opening containers. We'll get to that in a second. You've got combat boosters. Um, so the combat goes towards you getting enough experience in the tank you're currently driving to be able to research upgraded modules and eventually the next tier up. So that's what combat experience does for you. Free experience is 5% of your combat experience earned in the battle. And you can see that number sits right here for me at 2.7 million free EXP. It's the gold star. Combat is the silver star. Free EXP can be used for anything. That's why it's called free EXP. So if you were to buy a tank and you didn't want to play a single game in it, you could use free EXP to advance your way up to the next tier. You'd have to use credits to buy the tank. Credits are used to buy tanks and ammunition. Um, and then crew experience, and we'll turn these back on and you can see what a difference it makes having these boosters. Silver is called common, blue is called epic, and purple, I'm sorry, is rare and epic. So it's common, rare, epic. So we'll turn all of these epics back on. You get so many boosters that, you know, I just leave them on basically all the time. So that is one place that you can turn them on. You also get a screen when you go into battle at the bottom, and you can turn them on or off there. So if you maybe don't like the lineup or your bottom tier or whatever, you can turn them off right before you go into battle. If there's one thing you did learn in the tutorial, it was that you have to push the battle to get to the next phase of the tutorial. So the battle button is basically just going to take you into battle with the tank that's sitting here in your garage. The button next to the right of the battle button is the select battle mode. There are several fun modes that Blitz has. Gravity, burning games, mad games, realistic, uprising, skirmish, and these all come out from time to time, and they'll be sitting over here to the right. And just like ratings battles, there's usually a time limit on them, but Wargaming just does not keep them out all the time. So you have to kind of look out for when they're coming. Ratings is just a different type of matchmaking, and basically you're put into categories ranging from like 1,000 to 5 to 6,000, and the way the matchmaking is supposed to work with ratings is that you're supposed to only be put into battle with people of close to your own rating. So it's supposed to be a little bit more competitive. Really hasn't worked out that well, but I think maybe they might get there one day. Also, I wanted to point out here on your regular battle, these are what goes towards your statistics. And there's two game modes here within regular. Encounter is just when there's a flag, typically in the middle, but not always. Whoever gets to 100 sitting in the flag wins, but that rarely happens in the game, guys. So don't try really to do that. Most of the time, you're going to win or lose by killing all of the other tanks. Supremacy puts 3 or 4 flags in the map, spread apart. And if your team gets one of those flags, then points start accumulating up to 1,000. The first team to 1,000 wins, or the first team that kills all the other tanks before you get to 1,000, or if time runs out, whoever has the most quote-unquote supremacy points wins the battle. So it causes a slightly different game. More people split up a little bit in this one, whereas an encounter, hopefully, depending upon the map, people are staying together more frequently. So going up to the top here, this is your premium time, guys. Now, if you want to invest and you know that you're going to be playing this game for a while, I highly recommend getting premium time. This is going to basically double how much experience and credits you make, making it just that much easier for you to quote unquote grind on these tanks and increase your way up the tech tree lines. Tech tree lines are right here. We'll talk about that in update 2. As I mentioned before, gold is a currency in this game that is primarily used to buy premium tanks. Premium tanks, like the Defender Mark 1 here, are noted by their yellow lettering. The regular tech tree tanks are in white. The advantage of a premium tank is that it 50% more credits and EXP. So keep that in mind. We talked about the silver being used for purchasing tanks and ammunition, and the free EXP here used for free EXP to be used to purchase tanks if you so choose without even playing a game in it. And then top right here is the store, and this red symbol means that you have a container that you can open. Another way that Wargaming gets you to come back to the game frequently. So this is a little bit like a ride at Disney. You get off the roller coaster and you have to go through the store to get out. They drop you right here under the offers tab so you can see what premium tanks are for sale. Now guys, I do a Friday video religiously now, telling you what to buy and what not to buy. So before you buy anything, check out those videos. But we're going to jump on over here. So we've got the offers tabs. Most everything here is going to be in gold. The bundles, most everything in here will be for dollars or whatever currency you're in. Gold here is where you can come to buy gold if you wanted to buy something in the offers tab, right? One of the things that I talk about is you can see the more money you spend on the game, $100, you're going to get 375 gold per dollar. That goes up with the more money you spend. Here at $50, it's 350 gold per dollar. So whenever you can get something in the neighborhood of 500 is good. 1,000 is really good, and the most I've ever seen was that offer after the training for 1,300 per dollar. Premium is going to be the premium time. This is the cheapest way usually to buy premium time, $1,000 for 7 days. And just see if you like the game. You know. And then tanks, this is where your premium tanks will be. I have all the tanks, so there's nothing left for me to show here, but you will have tanks that populate here. And then the red catchy box here shows that you have a container to open. This is another way that Wargaming gets you to come back. You have 3 daily containers. You have 1 container every 3 days and 1 container every 7 days. We'll just go ahead and open that and show you what we've got here. An avatar and 3 credit boosters. And this is what I'm talking about. You get boosters out of this all the time. So if you're playing, you know, every day and opening all of your crates, you start collecting boosters really, really quickly. In the big container, you could potentially get a T25 or the Churchill, potentially gold, some silver, and look at all of these boosters down here. And this is a rare container. And then under the epic container or huge container here, you can see there is a chance to pull some nice premium tanks ranging from tier 8 to tier 6. Gold, free EXP is the symbol here, silver, credits, and more boosters. Um, so the other part here are pop-up offers. Sometimes these are good deals, sometimes they are not. So just be wary of that. That not all the pop-up offers here are worth investing in. Right now, my only pop-up offer is to buy camouflages for a tier 10 premium tank that I own. Um, and that's one of the things that you'll notice in the game that the selling of camos. So it's all about wargaming, making money so that they can keep investing. And I will say this, guys, about this game, update 7.9. So this is year 7, update 9. They update this game frequently. They don't let it get stale, and they are keeping it um, you know, they're keeping it current. Absolutely. We've just seen a complete redo of the interface, which is why I am redoing these garage videos. The other thing that I just really wanted to point out is you've got your filters here. This is a collector tank, this is a premium tank, and this is just a regular tech tree tank. So that's going to round out, hopefully that wasn't too long, the top of the garage. Actually, it's not. I wanted to talk a little bit more about EXP. So bear with me here real quick as I pull up a game. And I apologize, I don't play on PC, guys, so I don't have any games here. But I wanted to get to the end of this battle. Whoa, that was loud in my ears. Hopefully that didn't just kill your guys' ears. Wow. Okay, so here is the final battle page after a game, right? And I noticed that in the training, they didn't even have any of these tabs on the right side for quite some time. It was basically just, okay, here it is, or go back. So what I wanted to point out here, the difference between your premium time and non-premium time, it's not quite 50%, but there is a significant difference here with how much combat experience you earn and how much credits you earn per battle. This shows you how much damage, and this shows you how much credits you actually take away after the game, and I'll get to that in a second. And your kills and your medals up here. So here is the team page. You can see that your damage, your kills, your EXP, and if you sort by EXP here, and whether or not you give someone a combat rating. Details goes into your statistics, so we can see 19 shots fired, 15 hit, 13 penned, 5 enemies damaged, 4 killed. There's that 3805 damage, and then damage dealt with players' assistance. This is important because this helps you get experience points, and something that was not touched upon in any of the training. Victory points earned. So this was a supremacy game. So typically you earn victory points from recapturing bases or capturing bases or killing somebody. Victory points seized from the enemy. So that's from the 4 kills right there. So what we can see here under efficiency, the first one, there are no light bulbs highlighted. Those are spotting. So that gives you your spots. The second one here is your assistance. So he wasn't the first one to spot the T-62, but he did later in the game spot the T-62, and other players did damage to that T-62. So he gets assistance with that, right? And then he did 1 shot for 331, and he killed the tank. The next line down here shows if you damage any of the modules. So here are the modules for your enemy tank. You've got the engine ammo rack, fuel, tracks, gun, turret, and then lookout device. And then you've got your different crew members in the tank, the driver, the gunner, the loader, and the commander there. So that gives you a little bit more understanding about what you're all seeing. So now let's talk about credits, right? So if he did not have premium time, he would have lost credits in this battle. And so that's why I say it's so important for you to be carrying premium time with you when you're first playing the game, when you're grinding the game, because here's the difference: 15 versus negative 9,000, and this is where they go, right? So you earn 74 in the game. You've got tank repair. You've got ammo resupply. You've got to resupply your consumables and resupply your provisions, and we'll get to those in the third video. Um, and you can see there are discounts on these from being in a clan, and I'll get to that in the second video. Um, so here is the EXP breakdown, or XP breakdown, whatever you want to say it. Combat, 4,176, and that's broken down by damage dealt, assistance, and active actions, and a bonus for winning the game. So that then, if this was in a tech tree tank, could be used to upgrade equipment or purchase the next tier up. Free EXP is only like 5%, but that accumulates slowly over time, and you can use that however you want. And then crew EXP, which is when you first buy a tank, you start out with 50% crew. You can spend credits to get that to 75, or you can use gold to get that to 100% crew, and then the crew goes towards the crew experience. And I'll get to this section in part 3. So hopefully, guys, again, that wasn't too long-winded, but like I said, there's so much to this game that the tutorials does not cover. So I just wanted to make this a little bit easier for everyone to understand. And with that, guys, have fun out there. Stay safe, get educated. Littlefinger out.